Making his way to the ring, Maxwell Jacob Friedman, MJF.
As a kid of the 90s, I grew up playing wrestling video games like it was a religion. I remember the first one was WCW World Tour, and then WCW/NWO Revenge, and then WrestleMania, and then No Mercy. And each game was better than the last, and it just never disappointed. And it was sad to see when Ukes just stopped making wrestling video games, because I was never like the biggest SmackDown fan. Although SmackDown, at least back in the day, revolutionized wrestling video games by quite a lot, especially on PlayStation when you can go backstage and fight. And it was one of those games that when you played it, at least in that time, that you just understood that where wrestling games could go, and it was extremely exciting. Then when I heard that Ukes is going to make an AEW wrestling video game, I got excited as well, because I love that style. I don't mind the visuals of AEW Fight Forever, let me just say that first, because I like the fact that it does stand out from WWE 2K. It is something that's very simplistic, but it does give you that old school arcade vibe, which is pretty dope.
Broken Matt, I knew you'd come.
You obsolete mule!
The problem I have with AEW Fight Forever is I've been looking around for any reason to buy this game outside of a repackage of No Mercy.
So when THQ asked us to be the No Mercy spokesman, we naturally agreed.
Wage war in all new backstage areas, perform vicious double team moves, and show No Mercy in the high-flying ladder match. WWF No Mercy for Nintendo 64. It doesn't get any badder than this. Rated T.
It's expected that there's going to be 50 plus wrestlers in this game, which is incredible and a lot. Now, we don't know how many of those are trapped behind DLC, because it seems that Ukes and whoever, THQ Nordic, they essentially want to follow in the same footsteps as WWE 2K by charging you for everything.
Hey, go fuck yourself. Get that guy out of here. Piece of shit.
AEW Fight Forever has been in development hell for quite some time, and as we get nearer to the June 29th release date, we're finding more and more details out about the game. Now, with the 50 plus wrestlers, 10 plus game modes, my biggest thing was presentation, and visually I don't mind the way the wrestlers look, because it does look like an upgraded No Mercy style wrestling model that you would see in those games, and I like that. But the problem is where's the rest of the presentation? There's no commentary. I've watched matches in full length in AEW Fight Forever, and there is zero commentary. The rope physics are absolutely atrocious, and just physics in general in this game are absolutely terrible. And if you want to tell me that they wanted to make it feel like an N64 game, well, they accomplished that. I mean, it is a reskinned version of No Mercy.
I used to love video games! Yeah, video games! Video games! Yeah, I love video games, and then I lost my virginity.
I mean, they didn't really upgrade anything to this game. The entrances themselves, from what I can tell, again, watching full matches in this game, entrances are non-existent.
His opponent, Jay Cargill.
They essentially, this is like old school, like WWF Warzone length of entrances.
Deranged individual indeed.
The crowd seem very generic in terms of their noise, the things that they say. Yeah, sure, it feels like an AEW video game, but without commentary, I'm bored. I feel like I'm bored with this game, and I haven't even played it yet. And that's the crazy thing. I really wanted AEW Fight Forever to be a great competitor to the WWE 2K games, simply because then that would push WWE 2K to revolutionize their own games, maybe take certain things that work very well in AEW Fight Forever and implement it in their own games, or vice versa. but that's just not what we're getting here. You want to tell me that this is just an upgrade from No Mercy, and yes, they wanted to feel like an N64 game, then this game better allow me to create my own title belts. This game better allow me to create my own wrestling attire for various wrestlers in the game. This game better allow me to create my own divisions. All of that should be in this game, because if it's not, then it's a step backwards. One of the cool things that I do appreciate that they did with the story mode, and one of the very big annoyances I have with WWE 2K games in terms of their career mode or story mode, is the fact that in WWE 2K you can't lose a match. If you're supposed to win a match, you have to win that match in order to proceed in the game. Well, in AEW Fight Forever's career mode / story mode, you don't have to win the match. In fact, it branches off based on whether or not you win or lose, which is a really cool dynamic to this game.
Give me a hell yeah! What? What?
We haven't really heard any of the voices or anything like that during the story mode. I haven't found any videos personally where you actually hear the authentic voices of the actual wrestlers themselves in the game. That's if that's not here, that's a huge step backwards. The big thing for me is back in the day when No Mercy came out, it was only limited by the tech. In fact, you needed the expansion pack in order to play No Mercy. I mean, it was that limited. So what's the excuse today in AEW Fight Forever? For a company to come out and say we wanted to make it feel like an old arcade style, No Mercy style game, that's one thing. But then to sit there and say, but we're going to pretend like we're limited to the tech of the N64 and that's what we're going to go by, that's just stupid.
You fucking mark!
I want this game to be successful, but I have zero hopes that it will be. I just feel like the only people that are going to want this game or play this game are going to be the ones who feel very nostalgic when they see it, and two are AEW stans. There's still a lot that we don't know about AEW Fight Forever. As I said, as we get closer to the June 29th release date of this game, we're just finding out more and more details about it. I feel like if this game came out during the N64 era, minus the upgrade in visuals from the No Mercy game, I feel like we as wrestling fans would be shitting on this game. We would be saying, what's the difference between this and the previous title? And besides the fact that they changed to AEW from WWE to AEW. I don't see a difference. But those who are hell-bent on buying this game, no matter how bad it is, I've already pre-ordered it, which if you pre-ordered it, you get Matt Hardy.
AEW Fight Forever introduces Matt Hardy.
Or for $80, you can get Matt Hardy as well as DLC of Dash and Wheeler, the Bunny, because that's a good, DLC character.
You piece of shit!
And I'm sure there's going to be plenty of others locked behind a paywall because that's what this game feels like. It feels like a locked behind paywall No Mercy style game. A lot of the moves that, at least from the matches I've watched, seem fairly generic, like very limited in terms of what they could do with No Mercy back in the day. But again, you have the tech. We're not limited by the tech anymore. You can still make a game look like a No Mercy style game without limiting the things that you have in your game. In fact, it seems like an unpolished, unfinished game that to essentially sell it, they're making the excuse, hey, you ever want to play an N64 game on a PS5 or an Xbox Series S or X, or maybe you want to play it on a 4090 graphics card. Alright, well here it is. Here's AEW Fight Forever.
That's all you got?
And people are just going to buy it because they're going to buy the excuse that they're just trying to make it feel like a No Mercy style game. I honestly would be shocked if this game gets high ratings. I personally, as I've watched more and more videos on this game, more and more people talk about it, and it just leaves me feeling unimpressed, uninspired, and almost feeling like this is just a cash grab more than anything.
You fat-faced dipshit!
Even if you're a 90s kid like myself, you still have to agree, I would believe, that no, this isn't a monumental upgrade to what we got back then on the N64. But those are just my thoughts on AEW Fight Forever, not only as a wrestling fan who loved WCW back in the day, loves, you know, I watch WWE still, and I mean, I love the Bloodline storyline. That's probably the best storyline since I was a kid. But, yeah, I want to hear from you. Are you excited to play AEW Fight Forever? Have you already pre-ordered this game? If you are excited about it, or maybe you're disappointed by it, maybe you don't have high hopes for this game either, let me know in the comments down below. Also down below, you'll find the link to me and my brother Araki's other main channel, Smokin Sessions, where we do videos in a similar vein to gaming sessions here. And if you like this video, don't forget to leave a like, and don't forget to hit the subscribe here on Gaming Sessions, as well as hit that bell to turn on notifications so you don't miss out on videos like this from us in the future. So here's hoping that I'm proven wrong with AEW Fight Forever, and that it actually surprises me and it's a fantastic game. But again, I don't have high hopes.
Well, guess what? Too little, too late.
Thank you for watching and or listening to this video, and we will see you all in the next gaming session.
I spaced out of my head to the depths of the universe. It's a spell or a chance just to open up a new